Welcome back, you beautiful people, to the fourth On the Moon podcast. We are about ready to go. If you have any form of za, your favorite beverage, blanket, just be cozy and enjoy the episode. This podcast is going to be about religion, why I started the podcast, and a little bit about feeling lost in life, how I was feeling lost in life, and how I wasn't anymore. All right, religion. I grew up Hindu. I have my notes right here. So if you see me looking here, I have my notes, I have my screen, and I have my camera. Camera, screen, notes. All right. Religion. I grew up Hindu. I was heavy into it up until I was 16 years of age. That was my second year in high school, 2013. I won't be saying too many years, so just try to keep up here in this episode. It consisted of small prayers. In the morning, I would wake up. We would have shrines at my dad's house or my grandma's house. I would wake up and do the prayer. I'm not too well versed even to this day on Hinduism. I was doing it mainly to make my family proud and happy. Other things Hindus do in America are house prayers or pujas that can be up to 2 to 4 hours long. You just sit on the ground and you listen to a pandit, which is a Hindu priest. He reads Hindu religious texts and there's songs in between. Those songs are usually accompanied by people playing instruments. Sometimes it's a mandali, which is an actual band that is formed to play these religious songs and other Indian songs, or it's just instruments that they give to the people that attend the puja. Sometimes it's immediate family. Ever since COVID, it seemed to be a little bit smaller. Before that, pujas used to be, you invite everybody, and whoever comes, and whoever doesn't, you hate them a little bit. No. It's more of like a elder Indian kind of thing. Like, oh, if they don't come to mine, well, why not? I come to theirs. Now I'm not going to go to theirs. And then the songs that they played in between the reading of the religious text is really how I fell in love with music, along with my dad. My dad listened to a lot of hip hop. It was just mainly hip hop. Tupac, Ice Cube, Eazy-E. I grew up on all that from my dad's side, and then from like my grandparents and like my mom's side, and like all the older Indian people I was around growing up, it was mainly Indian music from the pujas that I would go to as a kid. I would go to them as a kid with my family all the time. So they speak a different language from the Hindi that I speak. I speak a broken Hindi that's from Fiji, and then there's another Hindi that's more proper from India. And then there's Sanskrit, which is what these books, all these religious texts are written in, and that's what they're speaking, the pundits. That's what the pundits are speaking, and I still to this day, I don't understand Sanskrit. So I was just there, pretty much. I was just there, didn't really know why. It was to make my family happy. Pretty much that was the why. But when it came to actual religion, I didn't understand anything. I still barely know. Well, I know more stories now that I've looked into it, but as a kid, I didn't really know what the hell they were talking about. I'm telling you, like I was just there and didn't know why. How I lost my religion. I was around 16 when I lost my religion, when I dropped it and started looking more into science. Smoking weed definitely had a part in it. I started smoking weed at 15, 16 at a young age, and it kind of opened my mind and made me think different. Shout out Mr. Sather. That was one of my high school science teachers. He was the opposite of a strict teacher. He was extremely laid back, but I somehow fell in love with everything he was teaching. Like 30% of the class would be paying attention to what he was doing, and the other 70% would just be doing whatever. Remember, we had Chromebooks in my 4 years of high school. Or I had them when I was 16 for earth and natural sciences, and I had them again when I was 18 for chemistry. I got obsessed with science. I started watching Richard Dawkins, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Lawrence Krauss. I was constantly watching 2-hour lectures, just conversations between them and like other scientists. I really got into it. I started doing my own studying. It wasn't really research, but I just wanted to I had questions and I wanted to find it out. Like I wanted to find out the answers, and the questions had to do with physics and astrophysics and evolution and science like that. Like how did humans get to this point? That's like what I was thinking of when I was 16, and I still think about it every day. But I feel like I have more answers now than I had when I was 16. I didn't lose my curiosity, but science is really something that I love to do as a hobby. And I'm not really into college as a way to have a successful future for myself. It just doesn't work for me. It didn't work for me. I tried it out. It's not for me. We'll get more into that later. I'm obsessed with the natural world. I find it fascinating how we evolved from single cells to these complex creatures. Not just humans, but animals and plants especially. These are all these notes that I'm reading are my own words. These are pre-written notes. Plants. I love plants. I unfortunately don't have any in my room, but I genuinely love plants. I love looking at plants. I love just smelling plants. I love them. Weed is a plant. I love weed. I fell in love with plants because of my grandma. I used to help her garden when I was younger. That really made me appreciate nature more and plants. Like I just love trees. I love everything. I love all nature, water, rivers, everything. My favorite animal is a tiger because as a kid I was into the Chinese zodiac. My grandparents had posters around the house of the Chinese zodiac, so I would ask questions about what this was and what it means because it's different from what I normally see in, our Hindu posters that they have. From a kid, whenever I saw a big cat, like at a zoo or mainly on videos, like on TV, Animal Planet, and all that, I felt like a fire inside me. I felt that's what I wanted to be. Not literally, but the attitude of a tiger or even a lion or a cheetah to me is relentless. Relentless means oppressively constant. I feel like a tiger, a lion, or a cheetah, they're gonna eat no matter what because that's what they know what they have to do. Like they're gonna get it done no matter what. What I learned from that, being relentless, is stop caring about how long something takes and just do it until the job is done to the best of your ability. If you don't do it to the best of your ability and it fails, and you have to question why, you don't want the answer to be because of your own laziness. That's gonna feel like shit. The answer has to be calculated. You definitely don't want the answer to be because you didn't try hard enough. It's a terrible feeling. I felt it many, many times before. It's something that I'd never want to feel again. It definitely came from fear, but also laziness. When you sometimes feel like you're not good enough, you probably won't put the full effort into doing what you're doing. You need to eliminate that from your mind and you need to do it relentlessly. Be oppressively constant. That's literally the definition of relentless. Be constant and be consistent. Make sure you're always doing what you love if you're trying to get better at that. If you play guitar, make sure you're playing every day. Make sure you're learning new shit. You don't want to do the same shit every day. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't care what the fuck. I'm just saying guitar. Like, I want you guys to do what you love every day, even if it's for 30 minutes. Try to do it an hour if you can, but 30 minutes a day doing what you love, you're going to get better at it every day. That brings me into why I wanted to start a podcast. I felt how a podcast can literally change my entire mood from being depressed to happy and heard in a sense. Joey Diaz podcasts were there for me at a time when I was in a really tough spot mentally and also in life. I was becoming an adult right after high school and I was extremely lost. When I would watch those podcast, he would talk about so he lost his mother when he was 16. He walked downstairs and his mother was dead and he was on acid at 16 and he saw his mother dead, laying dead on the floor. That's how he lost his mom. And ever since then, he was kind of just pretty much on his own. Like he had no guidance. His mom was also his dad. And yeah, he grew up in New York in the 70s. And when you think of New York in the 70s, he lived that life. Like if you watch Taxi Driver, if you watch Panic at Needle Park, like he saw those things. That was just his backyard. Those were little glimpses of his life. And I never grew up in New York, but the things that I would relate to were mainly things like how he was just like a lost kid. Like he was just doing things with friends, and like I was kind of like that. Like I had both of my parents, but it was like I never wanted to be home, and I just felt hurt. Like I always felt like a delinquent, and Joey Diaz was a legitimate delinquent for most of his life. And not only was he a delinquent, he was a successful person after the fact that he lived his life. And it didn't inspire me to go do stupid things. Even though I was young, it inspired me to take all the things I did when I was younger that were stupid and just move past it and grow. Growing, that's important. Another reason I love plants and flowers, it's like it's a metaphor for life. You grow like a plant does, but you need the right environment to grow. You can't surround yourself with literal dirt, like shitty people, and expect to grow. You need sunshine, you need love, you need people who support you and are on the right path. You want to surround yourself mostly with people who are ahead of you in life, so then you can learn from them, right? You are most like the 5 people you are around the most. Should be common knowledge. If it's not, make sure you think about that and the people you are closest with at all times, because that has a huge effect on you. Huge effect. But yeah, Joey Diaz, shout out to Joey Diaz. I loved his podcast. His early church podcast inspired me to do On the Moon because he would just smoke and they would do a whole bunch of crazy different shit with different guests. And it entertained me. I was laughing even though I was extremely depressed. And then things that help you like that, I feel like you really want to like hold them close to your heart because I don't know, it's cool. It's cool to me that music or even a podcast or anything someone else creates can help you in a way that's so beneficial it could save your life. That's super cool to me. And I want to make stuff that hopefully, can save a life one day. I don't know how. Well, I mean, I kind of do know how. The plan is to like tell my stories, obviously, and if people relate to it, hopefully I can help them with a couple of tips. If not, just making them feel less alone. And I know my brand and lifestyle is a loner lifestyle, but there's more to just being a loner to my brand. You got to have a clan. You got to have your tribe. You got to have your close circle. Like I said, you are like 5 people you are around the most. You got to make sure those people are the most solid people of all time for you. I know probably everybody watching this has went through something that has involved a fake friend, fake person that we called friend, and it just ended in not being friends anymore because of some fake bullshit. And to that, let's fucking take a hit to them dead motherfuckers. Nah, I'm just kidding. We support positivity over here, but I'm just saying, look, anyone wants to walk out of your life, let them walk out. Do not hold on to them. Do not chase them because rejection is protection. Let me say that again. Rejection is protection from this universe, bro. The universe is protecting you from whatever it is taking out of your life. I promise you. Cheers to that. Rejection is protection. Don't chase, don't hold on to things that aren't for you. And you will know, your soul will know if things are not for you. You will feel it. So back to the Joey Diaz podcast. It helped me when I was feeling lost in life. And from my experience, feeling lost was waking up every day and not being able to feel happy. I was genuinely depleted from partying and I didn't want to do anything but sleep because every time I would wake up, I would feel like shit. So I would just go back to sleep. It was a very dark place in my life and I wish to never go back to it again. It happened twice, I will say, in a very significant way. One after one of my breakups, and then one after like 2018, just straight partying and just not taking care of myself, taking care of my body, taking care of my mind. I was not doing any of that. And hanging around the wrong people too. It was just terrible. It was just a bad time. But I got myself out of that situation and that's one of the things that I am most proud of for myself. It's a self accomplishment. It's not something that a lot of people know about, but I feel like it is one of my biggest accomplishments because not only did I do it once, but I did it twice. And I don't recommend this. I do not recommend this. I did it without a therapist. I for sure should have gotten a therapist, but I didn't. I used the motherfucking internet. I did my searches. I did my Googles, and I took my brain from 0 to not really 100. I feel like pretty hard for someone to just be at 100 in terms of just mental stability, awareness. You know what I'm saying? I obviously want to shoot for that, but we got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work to do, and sometimes stress is good. If you're stressing about the right things, then you're doing something good in life. I got to a point where I cut everybody off. It was just me. I was just alone. I wasn't really talking to any of my family. It was really just there was 2 times where I did that. I had to do that. That's one of the things that I just had to do. I had to cut myself off from the world and really focus on how to make myself feel better and how to get in a routine after just being extremely depressed. Have you ever been so sad that you just really can't do anything? Like you don't want to eat, you don't want to talk to nobody. Music doesn't sound the same. That's one of the worst parts. Like where you stop doing things that you actually love to do. You know what I mean? It's a terrible feeling, and I don't ever want to wish that on anybody. I hope you guys are staying loved and loving everyone and loving each other because that's really what's gonna solve this whole situation. More love. You know what I mean? fix fix the mental and things will get better. That's how I see it. And I'm not a guru, like I'm not a therapist or anything like that. I just want to spread positivity in any way I can. This podcast is a mental health supporting podcast. And if you are going through something right now, I wish you the best because it gets better. Just focus on love, focus on yourself. And once you love yourself, the clouds go away. Like I said, I didn't go to therapy, but I probably should have. I also didn't have the money for therapy. I had random jobs at Sears, Buffalo Wild Wings. I worked at a dairy one time delivering milk all over California. That was cool because it was like a travel job. Shout out Tyler for that job. He got me a job. Let me tell you how I got this job. This dude, Tyler, messaged me on Snapchat, one of my friends, and he's like, "Bro, do you speak Indian?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "Well, I need someone who speaks Indian." I was like, "You mean Hindi?" I speak a little bit of Hindi. I was like, "Why? What's up?" I was like, "Oh, his boss needs like a person to talk to these Indian people that they sell raw milk to. Raw milk is unpasteurized milk, I believe. It's like it's filtered and all that. They sold it mainly to Indian people. Indian people love it because that's like the main type of milk that they have in India. They pretty much hired me to be like the face of the Indian conversation because most of these people that they sold to, at least in the San Jose and like the Bay Area, they all worked at like Google and like eBay and like stuff like that. Like they were like Silicon Valley, like they could speak English. They had an accent, don't get me wrong, but they weren't incapable. But there was also people who came from just like their neighborhood and they were like total fobs. Like they didn't speak no English at all. Just straight Hindi. And I was there to communicate with them like a motherfucking beast. Boss. That was my job. Yeah, but none of those jobs ever fulfilled me. I never felt like I was doing something that was gonna ever make me feel successful. I thought of many ways to even make the dairy job something that I could do that affected my future career. Like I talked to the boss about making an Instagram page. I actually grew the Instagram page for like a couple months, but then I ended up quitting the job. The Instagram is still up, I believe. Well, I have to check. If it is, I'll put some stuff right here. But if not, too bad. I was always looking for something, but I could never really find it because I was blinded by the bullshit in my life. And the worst part was there was points where I didn't want to see the light. I was stuck in this dark place, and I almost grew accustomed to it. Another reason why I call myself Alucard is Dracula backwards, a vampire who is in the dark, proclaimed evil by other people, but Alucard was a vampire that killed the evil vampires. Yeah, so I started to just not really care to, see the light, like better myself. And those were scary, dark times because you just really don't care about nothing. Like I was getting into fights, like I didn't care about the world. I didn't care how people felt. I was just talking shit to people, just stupid shit. I try to stay out of any bullshit. Like I said, I do have a temper, but I'm trying to work on that every day. Realizing that no one was going to help me the way I needed was very humbling. My family, in a short description, came from Fiji in the 1980s with my grandparents from both sides being around their 20s and my parents being around 8 and 10 when they came to America with my grandparents. To this day, they aren't fully American. I wasn't raised like typical American families, even though my family tried their hardest to raise us as a typical American family. They wanted that American lifestyle. Go to college, get a job, work a little bit, take a vacation, grab a car, grab that house, and die in that house. That was it. And I didn't want to do that. It felt like a dirty cycle. Like I just did not want to do that. I don't know why, but all the content that I was consuming at a time right after high school was a lot of college dropouts, like people who didn't go to college and were successful. I was looking heavy into them. Like I was very into the fact that people could make it without college, even though college was the idea that I was force fed for years, and I thought that was what I had to do. But I don't know. I took a stand, I guess, against my family, and I just did not go to college. I did try it. I dropped out and I didn't want to do it and I don't want to do it still. And I think for me it's not the path that I am good for, but a lot of people are. Like if you want to be in the medical field or scientist, you should go to college, learn everything that the college has to teach you, get your degree, and then get a job and do your thing, whatever it is that you want to advance the world with in something that scientific, mathematic, or in the medical field. Most, and I'm talking 90% of my family followed that same path. and are still following that same path. Um, I have nothing against it at all, and I'm happy for my family. But that's just not me. A lot of them have paved a way for themselves using that formula. But I really just want to travel the world. I want to travel the world, and I want to teach people about different cultures. My culture, the Fijian culture, however you want to say it. It's a very, very slept on culture. I feel like people only think about the islands, and they don't think about how the islands even came to be. Like a lot of people don't know. Most people don't even know, or they didn't know where Fiji even was growing up. And I would say I'm Fijian. They're like, "What's Fiji? Like, where's Fiji?" Oh, you're Indian? No, I'm not Indian. I'm Fijian, but I just say Indian because it's just something that's popular. And but I really try to do make the fact that I am Fijian to people, because people will ask me now that I'm older, "Or are you Indian?" I'm like, "No, I'm Fijian." I don't say it in a disrespectful way, but I make it clear that I'm a motherfucking islander boy. I'm not an island boy, but I'm an islander boy. So get that shit right. Brain rot is a great thing. I'm glad they named it brain rot, but the thing that it represents is terrible. And I wish, ah man, I don't know. I hope something cleans up the internet some way. I don't even know. If you really look at it, the way that the internet is going, it's just so bad. Just so bad. People just want to talk about like shootings in this neighborhood and that neighborhood, or like people who killed cops. Like, at least, I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, TikTok is fucked up. Like, I don't even want to scroll TikTok anymore. Reels are all right. I feel like I only have cars and dogs. When I have some free time, like in between working, I'll go lay down and throw on some reels. If I don't want to commit to something that's like long form. But shit that's like recommended, that's not really in your algorithm, man, it's just the most fucked up shit. Like, why would you even recommend that shit to people, bro? Like, fuck. Like, I don't want to see people like race. Like, bro, like this is the worst. Like today, I unfortunately grabbed my phone and just went to TikTok immediately, and I hate doing that. I really hate doing that, and I'm pretty good at not doing it. I did it this morning, and then there was this video of just this dude recording these other people being extremely racist to him, and he was recording to obviously post it and show the world. And I'm glad it's like posted and making people aware, but I did not want to see that the first thing when I woke up. I should have just closed it. But I was so interested, and I fucking watched the whole thing, and it made me pissed off. And that's not a good way to start your morning. It's not. And if you do that, try not to do it and see how your day goes. Really, because it's so much better to just start your day with some fucking sunshine versus scrolling reels or TikToks. Like, that's something I want to fucking promote, something I want to get down. I know it's hard. Like, I literally know it's hard, but it's something we got to do. We got to fix this for everybody. We got to have this clear. We got to have our mental fucking sharp for fucking what this world has to come, bro, because this world is, at least America, is fucked. Fuck. I want to make my own way in this world by doing what I love to do and monetizing it to its full capability. So then I could do it at a greater scale with those collected funds. I love what Mr. Beast does, because not only does he give the money away that he makes, that's obviously anyone who does that, you're going to love that person because they're a good person. Mr. Beast is a great person. I want to do that with my money. I'm not someone who is going to splurge my money on things. And, I like nice things, but I like nice things to just make me comfortable. Like this, I guess, is a nice thing, right? These, like, I want the best of what I need to live a comfortable life. And I'm a simple man. Like, I don't need a lot. Like, I'm not into jewelry. I don't care about jewelry. I don't like gambling. I do like nice cars, but I only need one car, really. You know what I mean? I would love multiple cars. I would love multiple cars, but really, like, I'm gonna use most of the money that I make from merch, the views, just to make sure that I can get my ideas out as quick as possible. That's literally it. I don't know where I heard that from, but that's really all an artist wants to do when they advance, is get the idea in their head out in whatever medium that they want to do as quick as possible. And that's what I'm going to spend my money on. Like, I'm going to start streaming, making music again, and doing DJ stuff. Make sure you guys follow my Twitch. I'll put it in the description. I'm gonna have one Twitch for everything. I'll even do some live podcasts, live interviews. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not gonna lie. If you see this On the Moon logo right here to the right of your screen, it's a little off. And look at that. I just fixed it because I have OCD. All right. I love nice clothes. I made a clothing brand. I love music more than clothes. Probably more than anything, mostly in this world, almost anything. I love my family. Music is really close. Podcast saved my life. I'm making a podcast. Video games, I've been playing them since I was a kid. I love stories, and they're interactive stories that have the most amazing graphics at this point in life. Like, they look so realistic, it's crazy. And then on top of that, you have VR. I don't have a VR set, but I've tried it, and it's crazy. Like, the way that we grew up on Nintendo, PlayStation 1s and 2s, and now we have 4K crazy monitor setups. I know you've seen those things where you sit in a chair and there's like 6 monitors that have like curves, and you're just so immersed into whatever game. The seats vibrate, the speakers are on the seats and everything like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we grew up playing Stuart Little and Need for Speed Most Wanted in our grandma's living room. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. Wow, I went through my notes pretty quickly, but I want to talk a little bit more. That's how you know I love this shit, bro. Like, I could. We're at 41 minutes in the recording. I know this podcast is not at 40 minutes yet, but I'm flowing now. We're flowing now. We're about to hit this again. Overall, we talked about religion, why I started a podcast, and feeling lost. How I got myself out of feeling lost. That's what we're going to talk about. But first, cheers. Thank you for staying this long. I appreciate you and I love you. You are a beautiful person. Pinkies up even when you hit the buff coat. We are 4 episodes in. I'm so proud of myself for making it this far. I didn't think I wasn't going to make it this far, but I mean, look, we're here. We are 4 weeks in. When I was feeling lost, I was making a lot of music to get out of that mindset of just not knowing what to do, really just like hating myself for even falling into the wrong crowd and doing stupid things and wasting my time. The music really, really, really helped me. I think music is honestly like the one thing that I'm meant to do. And something that really bothers me is like whenever, like I see the music, quote unquote, isn't really working. And I felt like that wasn't the case. Like, I was getting better. One, people were listening to it. And I just felt so unmotivated. I wasn't hanging around people that were making music, and I was just lost. I was just so lost, and I wish I never really stopped making music. It's just I take so many breaks in between music because music was not paying the bills. Like, I could not make music and like just do music. I could not. It was just so the graphic design was kind of the go-to thing along with the merch. I really do love making things for other people. That's really something that I have a passion for because just starting a brand in general from zero is great. Like, it's like a great feeling, and I feel like I did that with NLG, and I just did that with On the Moon podcast. I already grew Nun Lifestyle. It's not big, of course, obviously, but it's something that I am proud of. I feel like the designs are really just something that like they come from me. So like, you cannot be proud of something that you make from your brain, transfer it to a computer, and then print it on a t-shirt, and someone wears it and gets compliments by random people. I feel like the People Are Weird hats definitely were my most popular item. Everybody loved those hats. We might do a reprint, we might not, I don't know. The only reason I say is we might not is because like I want people to get it when I print it. And if you miss it, it's just, when you missed it, like what the fuck. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. This shirt is sick as fuck. I got it from Jungle Boys LA, their merch section. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start streaming me making music and then obviously playing video games too, but it's all going to be under one account on Twitch. So please tune in if you like streams. We can interact live. I can talk to you guys while I'm making the video, while I'm making the podcast. So, we could smoke together in real time. I think that would be fucking sick. So if you do watch streams, please leave a comment, and if you would watch that, I feel like that would be cool. We could do one every week. same time. We could smoke together. You guys could ask me shit. Yeah. I might do that on Instagram Live just to start it out. We'll see. We might do that actually. I have some notes here that I took when I was watching a video about something. I'm not sure what it was. I didn't write it down. But what it says is you have to feel pain sometimes and be comfortable with pain. Because when you get used to things being good and in your favor, then when the rain comes, you'll drown. Yeah, I wrote that down. I also said, appreciate the wins, but don't celebrate too much. There's always more work to do, so don't ever get comfortable. Those are some things that I'm living by right now. I don't want to have any expectations for this podcast, for the gaming, besides just straight up success. You know what I mean? Um, I I know I will get there if I work hard, so I'm going to work my hardest to do these podcasts and make sure they're fun to watch, informative. Hopefully, you learn something. Hopefully, you feel heard. Hopefully, you're not feeling alone anymore. Hopefully, I've helped you out in some type of way. But other than that, I seriously love you guys for fucking tuning in. It really means the world to me. What do you guys want to hear about? I have a whole bunch of plans. I could talk about anything forever. But if you guys have something specific that you want to hear about, maybe I talked about before and you want to hear more about it, or just something that I have never talked about, please just leave a comment and make sure you subscribe. I need you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. Follow the On the Moon Instagram and all that. You know where to find us. Oh, and make sure you guys go check out the food reviews that I'm dropping on my personal account, BetaDaGod. Oh, let's talk about that. How I got that name. Beta means sun in Hindi. My friends heard my family calling me it, and they're like, "What the fuck is that?" And they're like, "Oh, Beta, that's cool." So they stopped calling me Sanjay and started calling me Beta. So that came about. The God came to me at a time when I was just feeling very, very confident. I was doing the DJ stuff, and I really felt like a god behind the boards, because it's crazy how when you play something, people react to it, and just witnessing that is like crazy sometimes. It's like you're controlling these people. I'm not gonna get too much into it because we can make a whole nother podcast on that, and we will. But yeah, that's why my Instagram says magician. So yeah, do what you will with that information. That's why I call myself BetaDaGod. It came from DJing, came from the music, just made me feel like a god. But now it also means a self affirmation to the highest form, BetaDaGod. God is within us all, because in my eyes, God is the universe is the God, is God. That's where almost 10 years that I've been just heavy into science instead of religion. What I think is God is just the entire universe itself, not a actual person or a being, and God is within us all. So BetaDaGod, it's the highest form of a self affirmation to me, and I'm not taking any credit for what the universe has done for me and for everybody else in this world. It's just an affirmation. And yes, we're going to the On the Moon podcast Instagram. We got 29 followers. 29. I fucking love that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everybody's name in a random wheel generator, and we'll do it fucking live. We are going to put all the Instagram followers in a wheel, and we are going to spin it 3 times. And those 3 people, I will put their name on this video. We might just do motherfucking 6, because why not? Alright guys, I'm going to spin this wheel 6 times, and I'm going to put the 6 winners, their names, in the video and shout them out, because I fucking love them. That's why. That's why. Not because they need a shout out. It's because I fucking love them, and I love you if you're watching this. Thank you. So, all right, guys, I have put all of my followers in a wheel, and I'm going to spin them around and throw knives at them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to pick 6 of you to put in my video, your Instagram at, because I love you. I legitimately love you. Thank you for following. And if you're watching this right now, I hope you are. Shout out to you. All right, we got all these motherfuckers, these beautiful motherfuckers, and we're going to spin. Oh, what? I thought it was going to stop at the other one. All right. We got Mr. You up to the neck basic. Yes, sir. Shout out Billy. Okay, we're gonna remove you, but you're gonna be in the motherfucking video, bro. Shout out to Billy. Drew the Barber, 209. You're gonna be in the video. Shout out to you, man. I love you, Drew. You motherfucker, Drew. Love you. All right. 4 more of you. Let's see who gets lucky. Thousand motherfucking bang, man. Oh my god. It's crazy because I know most of these people and I just love them so much, and it just means a lot for me to even put them in the video because that just means they're following and hopefully watching. Shout out to you guys, man. If you're watching, drop a motherfucking comment, motherfucker. Alright. Draco. The motherfucking Cornington, one of the best animators that I know. I swear to God, I wish I could animate as good as you, bro. You're a fucking legend. I love you. It's an honor for me to put your name in my video. Really. Breakdown Collectibles. I'm not sure I know them, but if they sell collectibles, go check them out. Go buy something, and if you buy something from them, make sure you comment on this video and tell me what you bought or something. I want to see. I want to know what you bought. Oh, did I not? Okay, let me remove them. Shout out to Breakdown Collectibles. I'll check you guys out. See what you guys got. Going on. Final one. Oh, it's gonna be one of the boys. That's crazy because I just seen this fool and he just called me while I was recording the podcast earlier, and I just seen him right now. He's a fucking legend. Shout out to my actual cousin Nate209. Go give him a follow. Yeah, he's a fucking. I love that dude. So it's an honor. Thank you for fucking watching this, bro. If you're watching this, thank you. It's an honor. All right, and that was it. We'll keep those names in there for next time, and let's end it with a motherfucking dab. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed that little spinny thing, let me know. We'll do more spinning things and more fun, cool shit. Couple ideas that I have. I want to do a podcast in the natures. So I want to. Oh, T Pills has done that. If you haven't checked out T Pills podcast, make sure you go check it out. He did a podcast, I think, in Arizona, somewhere in the hills. Really cool. Go peep that out. We're definitely on the move. And if you guys wondering what camera I'm using and how it's picking up all my in flaws or insecurity, I was gonna say insecurities, but I ain't insecure, bitch. I'm beautiful, homie. Look at that shit, huh? All right. The iPhone 15 Pro, not even the Max. Yes, and a little bit of OBS. If you guys wanted a tutorial on how to start your own podcast the way I does it, let me know. I would be more than happy to help you. More than happy to help you. We got interviews coming soon. The first interview we're gonna do is Never Heard Of. I'm announcing it right here, bro. I know I've been busy. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. The questions are ready. We're gonna do it right. Everybody, please pray for Never Heard Of's pops. He's going through some medical issues right now. But I hope everything is good. Whenever he is free, we're gonna get him in the stew. We're gonna or bring the stew to him. We'll do what it takes to get one of the rarest interviews ever. It's seriously an honor to be. I think it's his first real interview. I really think it is, and it's an honor because that's where I started off doing was interviews. I would email artists a list of questions, very well written questions. And they would send the replies, and I would put it on my website. And now we're here to the point where we have enough stuff to do it in person, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to leave my roots. I'm going to stay true to who I am. That's the only way to live. Don't ever try to be someone you're not. Don't try to act rich to impress broke people, because that just makes you broke. And always remember, wealth is in the mind, not the pocket. I fucking love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. Another little random episode, a little bit about religion, about me, and about feeling lost. And if you're feeling lost right now, please feel free to DM me. We can do a little talk. I like helping people. I grew up with a lot of people venting to me, and I would ask them like, why, like, do you feel, and people feel comfortable. People feel comfortable telling me their feelings, and I will keep it safe, and I will not share it with anybody or the podcast without your permission. We'll keep it anonymous, obviously. All right, we're 4 episodes in. I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye.